Hello everyone, this is Unlikely Waffle here. Welcome back to Survival Life, my Minecraft tutorial series. This is episode 16, and today we have a big day planned. Before I get into what we are going to do, I am instead going to come out here and make myself a good bow. I've been enchanting quite a few things this week and to prepare for this episode, and I managed to get a bow with Unbreaking 3 and Power 3. And, in addition to that, I also managed to enchant a book with Infinity 1. Now this bow's pretty good on its own, but what Infinity does, that makes it so that you don't have to have any arrows except just a single one in your inventory. And you can use as many arrows as you want. So literally, Infinity gives you an infinite number of arrows. So we don't even need 18 of these, but I'm going to keep that because that's what I have. And I also have been working on getting a brand new set of diamond armor. It's taken quite a while to find all this diamond, but I've gotten protection 3, fire protection 3, and projectile protection 4, and feather falling 4, which is pretty decent for what we're going to be doing today. And there's also one last thing I want to show you how to craft, which is a flint and steel. You just put one iron ingot anywhere in your 2x2 crafting window, and put a flint anywhere else in there as well, and you get a flint and steel. So, if you are at all familiar with how to make these, then you can tell by my inventory that, yes, we are indeed going to the Nether. You can also probably tell that if you read the title of this episode at all. For a full Nether portal, the smallest you can make is one that is 4 across the bottom and 5 high. However, you can cheat this a little bit by instead taking out each of the corners, so that way you just have a 2x3 with empty corners. So we are going to do that today. This is the smallest you can make these Nether portals. However, you can make portals up to a size of 23 by 23 blocks, which are great for gold farming, which I'll get around to in a future episode. See if I can get up here now. I just want to place that so I can put the block in the right spot. Because obsidian is really annoying to try to take down because it takes a very long time to break. Even with a really good pick. There we go. And now you can see this rain is completely enclosed. And you can light this rain with either lava or flint and steel, which creates fire. I would demonstrate it on my floor here, except that it is wood, and fire spreads across wood very quickly. And I don't want my house to burn down right now. And this is exactly what a Nether portal looks like. It is a kind of purple, flowing, swirling gate that you can see through. It's like purple, flowing glass. And the way that flint and steel is used to create fire is, of course, just by right-clicking with it. This cannot be put out by punching it like regular fire. Instead, what you need to do is flood it with water or break one of the obsidian. This is not my final location for this portal. What I am instead going to do is create a special kind of house or room for it. Probably off in this direction, on top of that hill, probably. Because that seems like a good location for it. But for now, this is where I want it to be. So that way I don't get attacked by any mobs out here. Because knowing my luck, I probably would. Alright, so now that this is all ready, I'm going to stick this back up here. We are ready to go through into the Nether. And the thing is, when you first go through a Nether portal, there is obviously no other portal in the Nether to come out through. What it will do is the first time that you go through a new portal like this one, it'll create a corresponding ring on the other side, as close as it can to the corresponding coordinates for where this ring is sitting right now. Alright, so ready? Let's go. You just sit inside the ring for 4 seconds, and it'll start flowing and swirling, and it might get you a little bit of motion sickness if you are prone to that. Hopefully this puts us in a pretty good location. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a good one. This isn't exactly linked up with our other one probably, but it works for now. Okay, so here's the thing about the Nether. It does not move at the same rate that the overworld does. The overworld being our normal world. Instead, what it does is for every block we move here, so let's see, we're on this block here, we move here. In the overworld, we have effectively moved 8 blocks. The ratio of block from the Nether to overworld is 1 to 8. So it's a very quick way to get from one place to another over far distances in the overworld. I'll probably make a system like that sometime in the future. And so this is the Nether here. Let me put up some torches because it's a little bit hard to see. There we go. And all the blocks that we can see around us here are netherrack. They are the basic building brick of the Nether. The Nether is basically filled with this, a certain other few types of blocks, mobs obviously, and the main part being lava. So you can see lava's just above us right here. So we have to be very careful. Let's break this down. You just break it with a pick and it makes very quick work of it. Sometimes if the portal can't be created in a decent area like it was here, then it can sometimes be put over a lava pool, which is not good. That can be very dangerous, especially trying to get down from it. And as you can see here, obviously, netherrack is flammable. You can light it on fire as much as you want, and it'll stay lit. Which means you can actually make fireplaces with this in it, and it'll stay lit like this. And just put out the fire by punching it. You can also make netherrack into other bricks, which I will talk about in a minute. And I'll demonstrate once we get back home. Let's come over here. And right here, these blocks right here you can see, these are soul sand. This is used for growing nether wart, which is used for potions. It is very different to walk on this from other blocks you can find in the game. When you walk on it, you move at the same pace as you would when you are sneaking. So you can see, I'm not holding down shift or anything, but look how slowly I'm moving. Did you hear that? That was a ghast. They are giant floating... They honestly look like giant white bloated squid. They have a large body with a few tentacles floating down beneath them. And this guy right over here, that is a zombie pigman. He is quite passive. And he looks like a humanoid pig that is rotting away like a zombie would. Hello. They carry swords and they wear shorts. Or is that a loincloth? That's a loincloth. They are a passive mob. They don't mind you being around them, and they usually won't attack you. Except if you punch them. If you punch them, this one and all the ones within a 32 block radius will become very mad at you and try to attack you. Actually, let me just adjust my brightness settings, because this is very dark. Oh, that's much better. Yes, you do not want to punch these guys ever, unless you want a full-blown torrent of angry pigman on your hands. However, if you do end up killing them, they drop often rotten flesh because they are zombies, as well as gold nuggets. They also rarely drop a gold ingot, but you can make the gold nuggets that they drop into gold ingots, just by placing them 3x3 on a crafting bench. This block here, this is nether quartz. When you farm it, you get this stuff back, between 1 and 3 quartz per block, unless you use a fortune pick, in which case you'll get a little bit more. You just put this in a 4x4 square, and that gets you a block of quartz, which is very bright white. Let's just get some more of this so that I can show you that. So yeah, this is what a quartz block looks like. Place that, and you can see just how smooth and white it is. It's good for making buildings look a little bit rich, for lack of a better word. Let's just grab some of the rest of this, just in case. You can also use quartz to make a redstone comparator, which I will demonstrate how to use in a future episode. And you want to be very careful about mining in the nether here, because these things could easily be 1 block thick, and you could fall right down into a lava pool. So just be careful and watch where you're going. And safe mining techniques, don't mine the block right under you. Mine next to you. So you can see right over here is one of the many lava falls here. These are found all over the nether, pretty much no matter where you go. Lava also flows a lot faster in the nether than it does in the overworld. Right here are glowstone. These are basically the natural lights found in the nether. Unless you have a silk touch, something which I don't, unfortunately. When you mine them, you get glowstone dust, which is used for both creating glowstone bricks like this, and for potions, which I will talk about in the potions episode. Let's see if I can come up here and grab some of this. Very good. Oh, a little bit too far. Is that good enough? Oh yeah, that's good. And these you can mine with a pick, you can mine it with your hand, you can mine it with a shovel. Does not really matter. And these you also just place in a 4x4, and that gets you glowstone blocks like you would see naturally. However, each one does not drop enough to make a full brick again, so it's not as efficient to mine it into dust and then put it back into blocks. I would always recommend, if you can, use Silk Touch to grab these guys. Silk Touch basically just lets you grab the block as it is, rather than its derivative, which for these is glowstone dust. Alright, so in addition to all these bricks, the Nether also provides us with buildings called Nether fortresses. They are basically giant, dark, castle-like buildings that are spawned naturally in the Nether here. And they house a bunch of different hostile mobs, as well as... what was that? Did I imagine that? As well as a few different things such as nether wart. You can also find some random treasure in there like you would in a dungeon. Let's try to come down here safely. I know there's one off in this direction. Make sure we don't fall down anywhere, because although we do have feather falling, I would prefer not to have to fall today. We'll make sure we have a way to get back up there. Alright, that sounds good. So right over here you can just barely make out these 2 big columns. Those lead up to hallways, which is the beginning of another fortress. Let's see what we can find in here. I know we will meet most of our mobs that we want to see today using this. And because this is quite high up, that's why I brought some dirt, just in case it did that. I keep thinking I'm hearing a ghast. Alright, so here we are in one of the many hallways that make up a nether fortress. Coming over here. Yes, I think this is it. Sometimes when they have an empty space, they will spawn into netherrack. So it's kind of expected to see netherrack just somewhere random sometimes. And as you can see, this is very dark. These walls are almost a dark purple. These bricks are called nether brick. And these are nether brick fences. I was saying before that you could make netherrack into something, and this is what it is made into. I will demonstrate how to do that when we get home. But just be careful, because these hallways are very dark because of this brick, and things could easily hide in it or just around the corner. So keep an eye out. No matter where it spawns, these hallways will always be clear. Even if it's in the middle of a bunch of netherrack, which we can see outside these windows. But if there's any empty spaces like an open walkway or a broken bridge, you will probably find that ended with netherrack. However, this is just a one wide walkway. And I believe through here, yes it is. So this here is nether wart, which is used for potions, as I said before. And you can see that it is growing on soul sand. I will grab a couple of these just to make sure I have them at home. And like most other crops, nether wart also has a few growing stages. This one here is the newest, I believe, maybe the second newest. And these tall ones are the highest and oldest ones where you can harvest them successfully. Alright, so you can hear that kind of mechanical groaning sound. That is a blaze. Blaze kind of look like... oh look. Yes, here they are. They look like golden mechanical creatures. And that are on fire. Oh! And so when they attack, they shoot fireballs at you. 3 in a very rapid succession with a slight cooldown period afterwards. They are very damaging. So be careful when you're fighting them. Alright, and so when you kill them like I did there, they drop blaze rods, which are used to make a potion brewing stand. But if you put them in your crafting table, they also make blaze powder, 2 powder to 1 rod, which are used for 1 brewing and also to make magma cream. The magma cream you get from a magma cube, which we will see in a little while. Alright, so anything good back here? I hear you. Yeah, you can see this was an open air area, which spawned right into netherrack. So you can't really get up here all that easily. Oh, hello. Okay. So this guy right over here, that is a wither skeleton. They are very dangerous. They are 3 blocks tall, just like an enderman. And they are basically looking like dark, dirty skeletons with a large stone sword. The items that they drop are... just a second. What they drop is coal and bone, and very rarely they will drop their own skulls when they die. When you collect 3 of the skulls, you can make a wither boss, whose own drop is used to make a beacon, which we'll talk about later on. See if we can get him successfully. You do not want to fight these guys and a blaze at the same time. And when they hurt you, you can see that my health bar turned black and is slowly degrading. That is called the wither effect. Luckily that did not seem to last too long. I found another wither. And regular skeleton too. Regular skeletons can easily spawn in here. And just like... whoa, hello. You're hard to see. And just like a dungeon, you can also find chests in here which will be filled with random stuff. Like here we have 2 gold ingots. That's nice. Ooh. We have a couple of chests here. And we got saddles, which means we can ride horses now. I'll do that in the next episode, probably. See what this one holds. We have gold horse armor and a gold ingot. This is a great expedition so far. Oop, okay, so here is... oh god. Yes, yeah, I went. Come on. Alright, so this here, over here, is a magma cube. They look similar to slimes, except they are dark brown red, and they have fiery eyes. When they jump, they split into 8 sections, which makes them look a little bit like a spring. When they separate, you can see that they have a fiery core in their center. They can be slightly damaging, but they are not too bad. And these guys will, every time they split, they still are hostile all the way until they completely die, so watch out for that. And when they die, they drop magma cream, which is used for making potions. Only the large and the small ones drop magma cream. The very tiny ones, the last stage before you completely kill them, do not drop magma cream at all. Wow, look at our health. We are almost dead. No, wait. We have 2 hearts now. Oh god, that's why. Oh no. Oh no. Ah. Found all my stuff. I got it all back. Which is fantastic. That would have sucked if I had to lose all of that. Alright, let's try to reorganize ourselves here real quick. And you can see right over here, that white thing over there is a ghast. Come on, skeleton. And there are various rooms that will pop up, one being the one with the stairs and the nether wart, like we saw before. This is another one, which is a lava pool right in the middle of it, like this. There are also a couple others, which are just empty rooms with 4 directions going off of it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one is not obviously one of them. And the last one being a pretty much empty room with a staircase going up the side of it. Let's see if anything's in this. Ooh, another flint and steel and iron horse armor. Whoa, is that what I think? Yes, it is. This here is a blaze spawner. In dungeons and caves and the nether, mobs, especially hostile mobs, can spawn using this thing, which basically looks like an iron cage with its little figure stuck in the middle on fire. And this basically spawns mobs where they don't naturally spawn. It creates them, basically. Let's see if we can put enough light around here so that it won't spawn. You can find them as zombies, skeletons, spiders, blaze, wither skeletons, pretty much anything you can want will come in a spawner at one point or another. You deactivate them usually by placing enough light around them that they won't spawn, because most mobs need quite a dark space to spawn in. And I'm going to save this. You can try to break it down with any type of pick to get rid of it. Or you can also, let's get rid of all this too. You can also save it and build a farm around it to collect XP and to collect that mob's drops, which is especially good for spiders and skeletons as they drop string and bones. In this case, the item we would want is blaze rods. Blaze also drop more XP than any other mob when you kill it. So yeah, I am definitely going to save this to make a blaze farm. Alright, so here are ghasts. They look like giant white blocks. And when they're close enough to you, I think it's like 16 blocks away, they will start opening their mouths and eyes and spitting fireballs at you. You can deflect these by hitting them back at them. So let's wait for it. You have to be very careful about this, because they can very much hurt you. And when ghasts die, they drop a ghast tear. Yes, there you go. Just hit it to deflect it back at them. Oh, darn. But what I was trying to say is the thing about ghast is that they are usually, since they fly, they are usually over lava, which means that when they die, they drop a ghast tear, and it can easily fall right into lava and be destroyed immediately, which kind of sucks. Obviously, deflecting their shots back at them is a very inefficient way to kill them. So much fire around here now. Although, if you can kill a ghast with its own deflected fireball, then that's actually an achievement right there. Come on. I just want one of you guys. Okay. Where did you guys go? Oh darn. But the best way to kill a ghast is usually with a bow and arrow. Unfortunately, these guys seem to have just randomly disappeared. So I can't kill them anymore. Darn. Oh well, at least we saw them. Alright, I'll meet you back at home. So much better to be back at home now, away from all that dangerous stuff down there in the Nether. But anyways, like I was saying, the Nether brick you can actually craft yourself, just by using netherrack. You do that by placing netherrack in a furnace with some coal, and cook that off. Just like that. And you get 1 brick for every netherrack that you cook. Then you come in here and just place these in a 2x2 square and you get nether brick from that. And then with the nether brick you can easily make that into a fence. All you have to do for that is place it in a 2x3 pattern like this. Or you can also place it in a stair pattern for nether brick stairs. So that is it for today's episode on the Nether. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to leave a like and a comment below, and I will see you next time. So long, everyone.